Good morning, guys, and welcome to the first of hopefully many videos on this channel. My name is Jill, your host for today on Comedy Luxembourg's finest metal podcast. Yes, we are doing videos, hopefully more than one, because this will be a crap to edit though. Be gentle. I know this is my first time. So, what is the goal today? Today we are going to focus on a record in particular, a record that came out a month ago. A record that is very dear to my heart, even though it has some flaws, like obviously any other record has. Obviously, I'm talking about Wintersun's Time II, which came out the 30th of August last month. So, where do we go from here? I mean, that's the main question that fans will be asking, and probably every other metal magazine or whatever. Where do we go now? What is Wintersun going to do after this massive drop? As several of you might know, Time 2 has been delayed forever, and obviously until the 30th of August last month, it was still kind of like unbelievable that this record will ever see the light of day, but yet it did. So, what I'm going to do today is basically, first of all, ask you the question, what do you think will these guys do now? And secondly, we are going to go through each and every song, detail a bit what I personally like, what I don't like, and then we will try and figure out what will happen next, even though obviously we have no idea, even though Yari will probably share some news in the near future. So we open the record with Fields of Snow, which I personally find like a very fitting song to open a record, even though it's too long in my opinion, like as a purely synth and heavily Eastern Asian inspired song. It does make properly sense to put this in front of every other song, because in comparison to Time 1, Time 2 has even more Asian and Eastern influences in the instrumentations and orchestrations. So, again, for those who know, back in the day when Time was basically just one record and not like two parts, this song did not exist. This song was written for Time 2 and acts as an opener, basically. And it really sets the mood for, again, this Asian, very heavily Asian influenced instrumentations and very rich orchestrations. But I think a 4-minute track song is maybe a bit too long as an opener, because again, there's no lyrics, there's no other instruments except like synths and orchestrations. In any case, we move on to the second song, which is one of the songs that several people knew already, because so it's not a new song. It's called The Way of the Fire, that has been played several times during the live performances back in 2012, 14, and so on. And at some point, they just didn't play it anymore live. And the question that many fans asked back then was, will the studio version be as epic as the live version? The short answer is yes, obviously. It is pretty epic, it is pretty bombastic, very, very blast beat, madness, excellent drumming by Kai Hatho. But does it deliver on the long term? And that is a question I've been asking myself for the last month. I really like the song. I liked it before. But again, it's not a new song. We knew this song for at least 12 years by now. So I just leave it with that. On the other hand, I'm not judging the song on its own. The song is a very solid Wintersun song. It has the typical folky kind of guitar sound with a lot of solos. Yari's voice is very crisp, very harsh and biting, you know, and that really sets this song as the perfect opener for as the first heavy song that is on the record, and it is executed to perfection. So what can you say? The follow-up though is a bit slower paced than the actual first real song that we had no clue existed. So it just got teased a bit during the Time campaign. It's called One with the Shadows. More melancholic vibe, reminiscent to Sleeping Stars, that was on the debut record. It's very slow paced, very emotional. A lot of, again, Eastern-y elements, even though they're not like synth elements only, but also in the guitar melodies and stuff. So it makes, again, perfect sense to cut down the pace a bit after The Way of the Fire, because The Way of the Fire is goddamn fast. So And then we go from the one with the shadows, we go straight into the song, and I like really the transactions from each song. They go perfectly together. One with the shadows closes down, and Ominous Clouds is straightly coming in with those, Ingwill Malmsteen-esque guitar virtuoso style that Jari is basically just showing off his skill. And after this song, I probably will put away all these because, yes, I will never reach there. I'm not giving up though. But Ominous Clouds is basically just a guitar interpretation of, hey guys, I know how to play guitar. And I put some fancy rain music in the background. I really like it. I think it's one of the maybe the most underrated song on the record, even though it acts again as like an interlude to the follow-up song that is the banger on the record. Obviously, I'm talking about Storm, the second song that people knew, because again, it is not new. That's one of the songs that they played during their 4th season tour, I think. And Storm is... I have no words for Storm. Storm is just biblical. It's insanely great songwriting. It acts as a storm. It behaves like a storm. You have no clue what is going to happen next. All the thunder and noise that is forming up, the acoustic guitars start the song, and then suddenly it's erupting into this enormous force that is basically just swiping you away. The solos are weird, intricate. They don't make a lot of sense at first listen because there's just too many things happening in the song, but it fits the record so well, and I think it's like the standout track on the record. And then obviously, like, a storm comes in very unannounced, and then it suddenly evaporates into thin air. And then we come to the closing track, the track that got hyped a lot over the years as being the most emotional, most dramatical Wintersun song ever. Is it? Well, it is certainly surprising to me that Silver Leaves, the last track, is so heavily, really, it's maybe the most Asian song he has ever written. There's maybe a bit too much of this Asian instrumentations going on. A lot of Asian melodies clash in on each other in a very melancholic way, very emotional, very slow-paced again. And it's I don't know. It's really difficult for me. I find it super intricate and interesting. That again, Silver Leaves is a new song, so it's actually a song that also we haven't heard until Time II dropped, basically. But is it the most emotional song? I think not. Honestly, back on the Forest seasons, the song Loneliness had me crying, basically, because I think that's one of the best songs he has ever written. And then again, I think that speaks for Time II. Time II has a lot of issues. Basically, the fact that the songs are nothing new from Wintersun. These are songs that were written back in the beginning of the 2000s. Some songs, like One with the Shadows, was actually written before the 2000s and figures as a demo song on the Time II package. So yeah, I think it struggles a bit in overall. If I might give a number, like, out of 10, yes, as a fan, I will give this record a 9 out of 10. It is not perfection because simply it's just a second half of a record. You know, we got Time I back in 2012, and it had more of an impact on me, and I think in general on the fans, than Time II. I'm just gonna say it. This is my opinion. Don't take it personally, but I think Time II struggles a bit with this particular issue, that it's been so long. And for a fact, I think that even he is like a bit tired of the songs and stuff, because this is nothing new to him. I mean, he has been writing and rewriting and rearranging these things for forever. I would be super fed up with all of this. But hey, that's just, again, the question remains, will there be another Wintersun record soon? For a fact, we know that they are currently recording apparently 4 records somewhere we have some numbers on where they stayed in percentage and what's the content, though we have no idea what it will be. And to me personally, I think it is seriously time. And for any other Wintersun fan out there, let us appreciate the fact that this is finally done. As he said in several videos, the time saga has finally come to an end. Basically, the stuff that we thought impossible happened. It's a solid record. It's definitely not the best Wintersun record. To me, nothing will ever come close to the surprising level and the production level of Time 1 back in 2012. Even though, again, like brackets on the side, the Time 1 update that came with the Time package is by far better than Time 2. But yeah, the question remains, what will happen now? What's going to be next for Wintersun? Will there be new music out soon? And so on. I really hope that this will be not only, I will not say a lesson, even though it is kind of a lesson, for Jari to rethink his way of not only portraying music, but be a bit more transparent in what he's doing. We have been waiting forever without news, and then suddenly, beginning of 2024, we got the announcement Time 2 was on the way, and suddenly a lot of content got released, crashed on us, and we were overwhelmed with obviously a lot of joy. And I hope for the future records, and I'm honestly looking more forward to any other song that he is currently writing or has been writing over the last 2-4 years. I'm just glad that this is done and this is over. We can put this on a pedestal, whatever. We can put it aside and focus on new actual Wintersun music, which is, I think, way more prominent and promising than this. I mean, don't get me wrong. Again, Time 2 is seriously good, but I'm just glad it's done. That's basically the message today. I will just open another bracket there. As you know, back in, I think it was 2023, he released just a snippet of the song called Warning. I think it was probably the most interesting 2 minutes of Wintersun material that I heard in ages. Just to be fair, I like the fact that he wants to go a bit more proggy, a bit more genty, like travel around certain aspects of metal music. And I really enjoy the fact that he's trying out different stuff. So the next Wintersun record is hopefully the record that will get my attention even more, because again, this is good, but what's next? I mean, that's also up to you to decide. What are we going to do, the fans? In the meantime, we have a shitload of records that came out in 2024. I'm still not on the last page. I mean, 2024 is not over yet. We have still so many things to discover and listen. But I leave it to you guys to decide, what do you think about Time 2? Let me know in the comments. Like and subscribe. And thanks to everyone who's watching this and for their support over the last years. We try to do this way more regularly now and see how this will work. So until then, fingers up, and I see you guys very soon.